Hello, I'm Walsh, and I am a business coach and a digital entrepreneur, and I'm also a LinkedIn expert. It's a great pleasure and honour that I will be speaking tomorrow at the Circle of Legends Summit number 5, the theme of which is diversity, inclusion and empowerment, especially through the internet and LinkedIn. And I have been helping people with LinkedIn for quite a number of years now. I joined LinkedIn when it was very new in 2004, and I have run groups on LinkedIn, I've run training courses, I've coached individuals in how to use LinkedIn effectively. And some of the things I will be talking about, I'll be sharing, are, first of all, that it is really hard for some people to understand if they've come from, say, using Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or any of these other platforms, that LinkedIn is not really made to be fun. It's a business platform. It's something if we're going to get pleasure out of it, we need to be serious about it. So it's a business platform, it's a professional platform, and there are certain, just as in some countries there are things you don't do that maybe you can do in your own country, there are some things you don't do on LinkedIn that are okay on Facebook or Twitter, for instance. And that's because it is seen as this professional site. So it's not about what you had for breakfast or how you went out with your friends, although you can put that in, but the focus has to be on business, on professional issues, on education, such matters. So the key thing that that's the first thing I want to emphasize. So don't expect it to be fun, expect it to have to put some work into it. The second thing I want to say is really focus on building relationships, not on getting transactions. It's very hard people will tell you they'll help you to sell on LinkedIn. It's very hard to sell on LinkedIn the way you might sell on other platforms. It is much better to build relationships and to have a principle in your mind and in your practice of relationship before transaction. Now, I believe that works better offline than the alternative of transaction first. It works particularly well, it's particularly important with LinkedIn. To give you an example, if you're invited to a social gathering, do you walk up to the first group of people and say, I have this great product I'd like to sell you? No, you don't, because they would just look the other way or maybe suggest you're in the wrong place. But every week, sometimes every day, I get people sending me messages to connect with me on LinkedIn, and they begin with offering me a transaction, their services, before they try to find out really anything about me or whether we have much in common. So it is a hard lesson for some people to learn because they are told they can make a lot of money on LinkedIn, they're told they can build a company on LinkedIn, but it is what I call a long game, not a short game. So that's a really hard lesson for some people to learn. So build the relationship first. Then I'd say this: create a really good LinkedIn profile that tells people something about you, not just the places you've worked, not just the duties you've had, but who you are as a person, what motivates you, what your vision is, what your hopes and dreams are, maybe some of the things that you got wrong in previous roles and that you've learnt from. The principle is we do business with people we know, like and trust. That's called KLT, know, like and trust. So many people want me to trust them before I know them and before I have learned to trust them. And I just have to ignore those people and focus on the people with whom a relationship is building. So I'll talk a bit more about that tomorrow in my session, but it's a really hard lesson for some people to learn. And the next thing I would say is be a connector, not a collector. So many people try to collect numbers of people they're connected with without actually building a real connection. It's as if they are out hunting, hunting for people they can say, I have 2,000 connections or 10,000 connections on LinkedIn. what does that mean in terms of your productivity, in terms of the success of your enterprise, whether it's in business or in not-for-profit? The one more thing that I would say, obviously, given the theme of the summit, is given that there are 770 million plus monthly users on LinkedIn, that 70% of the membership is outside the USA. It's not just, it started in the USA, but it's kind of tilted towards Europe, Asia, Pacific, very much in terms of its membership and active membership. So there are 24 languages used on LinkedIn as the standard languages of LinkedIn. So think about how you can use LinkedIn in a way to connect with people across cultures, across professions, across industries, across regions, and how we can not just use it for business, but use it to create a better world, a world where people are happier and more successful. So lots of potential in LinkedIn, huge amount of potential for us to build not just businesses, but a better human environment and natural environment, all of those good things. That's what I'll be talking about tomorrow. I really hope that I'm able to provide some value for people and to help with this whole vision and campaign to make the world a happier place. So I'm Des Walsh, and I'll be back tomorrow in the summit. Thanks for watching.